coming and going all across the United States. So I'm going to let the experts take it away and explain the absolute crazy state of this weather game. So buckle up and put your helmet on. This is really happening.
All of the players are on the field. It's early in the game, and here we go.
We are looking at rounds of rainfall out in the West Coast this week.
Thunderstorms, a big concern today across the southeastern United States.
Some really heavy rain, a lot of reports of hail, some pretty gusty wind. That's in Arkansas. We've had some in Missouri as well, and now the whole system is moving a little bit farther toward the east.
Several tornado emergencies on Tuesday. You can see debris everywhere, cars flipped over, some very large vehicles, and certainly the roofs torn off of many locations.
And we've already seen storms exploding across Arkansas into Tennessee and Mississippi, and they'll continue to develop eastward.
A lot of warmth coming up the coast.
Everybody in this area, we could be looking at record warmth.
Ahead of a cold front that's going to be passing through.
But change is on the way.
That cold front will knock our temperatures down drastically into Thursday.
And yep, we are talking about the possibility of snow following record warmth.
And again, it will be quite cold as we go into Thursday.
And I mentioned that this is just a start of several systems moving on through.
That's a nice piece of energy. It smells like a New England snowstorm to me.
Stay cool. This is a Thor News presentation. Thor News presents.
Again, the threats will be pulling off to the east and up through the Ohio Valley as we go through Tuesday night.
So look at these thunderstorms here. They can be troublesome.
We are going to see some locations, including Florida, as well as Georgia, that will see that threat going into the overnight time frame. So please be very, very cautious. Clearly, there's been a lot of storm damage.
So I want you to pay especially close attention if you live down in areas like the Tennessee Valley, down in parts of Dixie Alley, so Mississippi, Alabama. This is a spot where you could see a tornado or two today.
So damaging winds, hail, and perhaps a few tornadoes sprinkled in as well.
The highest severe threat is going to be kind of farther toward the south there. So really watch out, especially out toward Atlanta during the evening commute, as if the commute's not bad enough in that town already.
Watch what's on deck here. Watch out what's happening in the Pacific. We've got another storm system moving through Wednesday. This is going to bring some heavier rain, not just in California, but in Seattle and Portland as well.
Here's a look at Seattle, which picked up almost a half a foot of snow by early Monday. We had a lot of customers, unfortunately, without power across the Northwest. Another 6 to 12 inches possible in the Cascades, certainly moving through the northern and central Rockies and the Sierra. Another foot plus of snow likely there.
And that storm is now moving across the country. So they got a lot of snow in California, the Pacific Northwest, and much like these last couple of storms that have come through, now it's moving toward the east.
And we see those icy impacts for locations across northern Wisconsin, as well as Michigan, UP of Michigan.
A lot of warmth and moisture will be coming up from the southwest. That means that a lot of spots that are going to start with snow will change over to an icy mix and then just to plain old rain.
It's going to be a lot of rain for parts of the Ohio Valley and the Great Lakes.
We're going to be dealing with a mixed bag of precipitation.
But I think the most dangerous part of this storm from here on out is going to be this stuff, the ice, all right?
And then the impacts late Tuesday going into Wednesday could mean some icing across portions of New England.
As far as the ice goes, this is a forecast model that'll show all the areas that are forecast to see over 1/10 of an inch, and that's enough to cause some big-time problems, so be really careful if you live in those spots.
So roads could be a bit slick in several spots. Want you to take caution as you head out and about, especially if you're going to be traveling in this area in that darker purple color.
In addition to, of course, the snow that's going to fall in northern New England especially. There's going to be a lot of snow for Maine. There are some spots that could see over 8 inches of snow. So we've got some snow coming up for some of the big cities in the Northeast. Philadelphia, New York, Boston, you guys are going to get in on some of this action. And the reason it's going to be such a big deal is the timing on it. It's going to arrive pretty late after midnight Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Problem is, this stuff is going to be around right during that morning commute on Thursday, okay? And that's when it's the most dangerous to drive.
And we are looking at snow in the higher elevations of the Sierras as well, especially above 8,000 feet. We're talking about feet of snow.
It's a vigorous disturbance showing from the water vapor loop right here.
We've got another impulse that will be moving in today, especially the latter half of the day. That'll not only bring in heavy rainfall across central and northern California, but also very gusty winds as well.
Storms Prediction Center painting in a risk of severe weather all the way from the Midwest, I-70 country, southward through the Tennessee Valley.
We have wind advisories in effect through this afternoon, especially in the foothills and the mountains. We could see wind gusts of up to 50 miles per hour.
And look at that, enhanced risk of severe thunderstorms across southern Mississippi, parts of Louisiana, into lower Alabama.
The heaviest of rainfall really setting up across the Central Valley here, and that's because that's where we're going to see those upsloping winds, and that's going to cause some heavier rainfall.
The actual energy that's going to be forming the storm is off the west coast. You see it, it's right here. In fact, you can see that little curl.
Here's a look at Futurecast. You can see all this moisture rolling on in by this afternoon. Again, the heaviest areas here, mainly in central northern California.
This is going to come down around the country. This is going to form the storm along that boundary.
Upper air system will be moving through the southeast with a cold front on Wednesday ahead of it. Still some strong storms.
And then this storm will be guided to the north and east. Colder air will start coming on down, And presto, you go from record warmth to accumulating snow. We have a threat coming up Wednesday night into Thursday. Look at this. Boundary. You have much colder air coming in out of the north of the front, south of the boundary, all kind of record warmth. There's going to be a huge temperature difference. You've got a lot of instability along this front. What are we focusing in on? We're focusing in on this trough, Thursday morning, 1 a.m. So here we are. Here we go. That's a nice piece of energy. Lots of wind. I'm looking at 70 or 80 knots of wind coming into a colder air mass. Look at this. And oh, by the way, you notice the tilt of the trough now is becoming negative. Once this goes negative, you start pulling precip back into the colder air. Boy, look at that. Look at this full latitude trough going negatively tilted. It's early in the game. Smells like a New England snowstorm to me. Let's track that piece of energy. Here we go. We're tracking it. We're tracking it. We're tracking it. Where is it? Here it is. It's right here. So it's coming from the Pacific. Let me show you where that is, just to show you what we're dealing with. See? It's back here. It's this piece of energy way back here. So this is a piece of energy. It's back in here. What does the European look like? Far different. Far different. GFS, European. GFS, European. GFS, European. It's Thursday morning. GFS, European. GFS, European. So that's the key. You see that? GFS, European. GFS, European. You see? Look at this. This goes negatively tilted. And this is Wednesday night into Thursday. But our focus, I want to make sure we understand what our focus is. And I'll show you the surface map because I think people want to see what the difference is. Okay, here we go. This, GFS, GFS, European. See, let me show you my map, and then I got to go. Here's our snow threat area. We'll be updating this. I still think you have a shot in D.C. I'm more bullish in New England with this. Providence, Hartford, Boston, and in Maine. I think this area, you're in line for several inches of snow. You know, the time frame is late Wednesday night into Thursday. All of the players are on the field. So I didn't want to do that.
All right, thank you all. Thank you guys very much. As you can see, we're in a bit of climate chaos right now. Tornadoes, snow, storm, flooding, records broken all over the place. Heat, extreme cold, extreme wackiness, extreme craziness. I'll put up a weather video later today with my own commentary. And the Eye of Sauron, mean sea level pressure point that I've been talking about for 3 years has officially turned into a monster. Stay tuned and stay cool. Peace out. God bless everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, we have major severe storms coming and going all across the United States. So I'm going to let the experts take it away and explain the absolute crazy state of this weather game. So buckle up and put your helmet on. This is really happening.
All of the players are on the field. It's early in the game, and here we go.
We are looking at rounds of rainfall out in the West Coast this week.
Thunderstorms, a big concern today across the southeastern United States.
Some really heavy rain, a lot of reports of hail, some pretty gusty wind. That's in Arkansas. We've had some in Missouri as well, and now the whole system is moving a little bit farther toward the east.
Several tornado emergencies on Tuesday. You can see debris everywhere, cars flipped over, some very large vehicles, and certainly the roofs torn off in many locations.
And we've already seen storms exploding across Arkansas into Tennessee and Mississippi, and they'll continue to develop eastward.
A lot of warmth coming up the coast.
Everybody in this area, we could be looking at record warmth.
Ahead of a cold front that's going to be passing through.
But change is on the way.
That cold front will knock our temperatures down drastically into Thursday.
And yep, we are talking about the possibility of snow following